especially to us, what I'll call the baby boomers. I think we constitute at least one out there. I think we constitute perhaps Stan's core audience, not his only audience, but his core audience. We came of age at just the right moment to be influenced, if not downright brainwashed, by what he had to tell us and sell us. The first person who's going to speak on camera here apparently is under the illusion or belief that Stan is Jewish. And Stan and I have talked about this before because his name is Freberg. Some people made that assumption. It's very funny that his father was a minister, and but they made that assumption. So ultimately, my wife Alice and I named him, and he proudly, we named him an honorary Jew. We had no authority for doing that. We just did it. So that's all I really have to say. I think you will enjoy these greetings from people who are, like all of us, great fans of Stan Freberg. Thank you.
I want to say hello, Stan, and hello, friends of Stan, and hello, admirers of Stan. Stan Freberg goes back in my life to the very earliest idea of Mad Men. When I pitched the show, I said it was about a time when the subversive part of America came into the popular culture. And I would always say that meant Jews and Italians got into advertising. And when I said Jews, I meant Stan Freberg. The sense of humor that Stan brought to advertising was unique. He created his own brand. He created his own celebrity. And for some inexplicable magical power that he had, was able to be a part of advertising without ever seeming like a sellout. And I've enjoyed your work, Stan, as a audience member. I've enjoyed it as a consumer, and I admire what you did and how you did it, and I've heard a lot of stories about you, most of which I will not repeat, but I wish I could have been there in that day to see you working, because it sounds like it was a lot of fun. And I just want to thank you for your contribution to our culture and for being a riot.
Hi there, Dr. Demento here. I am here to salute the incomparable Stan Freberg. Ever since the Dr. Demento show began in 1970, Stan has been one of my most played and most requested artists, a true giant of comedy on records, along with lots of other media, of course. Like a few million others, I was introduced to Freberg by St. George and the Dragonet. My mother was a major fan of Dragnet, the radio show, even before it was on TV. We were on a tight budget in those days, and my mother did not buy records often, but she bought that one as soon as she heard it, and I loved it too. And I memorized Freberg's name as I watched it spinning at 78 RPM with the phonograph. Actually, the first Freberg I ever heard was John and Marcia. Now, we did not have a TV in 1951, but some of our friends did. And one day that came on. I think it was the Ed Sullivan Show. I was 10 years old. I don't remember what was on the screen, but I never forgot those voices. John! Marcia! Many years later, I acquired several thousand 78s, which had once been in the library of radio station KFI, back when they played music. Included was a DJ promo copy of John and Marcia. Well, it seems that KFI was rather straight-laced in those days. See if you can read the program director's handwriting on the label. Now, John and Marcia is generally regarded as Freberg's first record, but several years earlier, he was on another one, while working for the well-known country band leader Cliffy Stone, who later hosted a popular TV show. Stan does the crying on this record of Wabash Blues. Fearless Stan had moved on to something even more challenging, selling us coffee, canned Chinese food, tomato paste, pitted prunes, lawnmowers, and encyclopedias, and making us laugh and love every minute of his amazing commercials. He told us all about it in his book, It Only Hurts When I Laugh. He was right. He also told us about it in several appearances on the Dr. Demento radio show, which have to rank among the highlights of my own 40 years on radio. Congratulations, Stan. My top hat's off to you.
Yo ho ho and a drama meeting. We are loyal subjects of the king and queen. Boy, Stan Freberg. I'm in Beverly Hills now. This is Beverly Hills. Fancy Beverly Hills. In the dark, little corner of Beverly Hills, but Beverly Hills all the same. And I'm probably here, and probably in show business, in part because of Stan Freberg. Stan Freberg was probably one of the first people that made me understand that you could write in show business. You could get ideas and then put them on. The United States of America, part one, was probably the first thing I heard like that, and gave me a real sense that you could have a vision for a show and then put it together, and then write it and get people and do it. Because movies didn't seem that way, and TV didn't seem that way. Not to a kid in Western Massachusetts, but that record, it kind of seemed like if you really worked hard, you could write something and maybe get a laugh. And what he wrote was so inspiring and so beautiful, and still is. And I don't think, well, yeah, it's pretty rare that I don't listen to all of the United States of America every month or so. So Stan, I love you, man. I love you.
Here in Berlin that combines two of Stan Freberg's